Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Today we're going to talk about how bad the downtrend really is. As you know, the market took another big hit yesterday and we're now slightly recovering from that. We are pretty mixed across the board and cryptos are still relatively flat right now, but we definitely didn't move that much lower. Bitcoin is still holding in its symmetrical triangle formation, which is good. However, Ethereum and Litecoin, which did end up taking some pretty hard shits yesterday, worse than Bitcoin, are still having trouble recovering. So we're going to cover all of that in the technical analysis in more detail in just a second. And other than that, make sure to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates, and make sure to check out my premium content for monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities. I'll have a link to both those in the description of this video. With that being said, let's get started with the Bitcoin technical analysis. So starting off with Bitcoin, as you can see, we are still in our symmetrical triangle formation between our two pink trend lines, and that's good, right? We did get a slight bounce on the uptrend line. Now, obviously, over the past few days, cryptos have been pretty weak. Bitcoin has been showing signs of weakness, but the fact of the matter is that we're still above our uptrend line, which is what matters at the end of the day. Now, we do have some indicators that are definitely a bit bearish here, right? We've got our moving average over here that's moving towards the downside, and more importantly, if we take a look at our Bollinger Bands and our middle band, they are starting to move a little bit lower. It's nothing too worrisome for now, but it's definitely not the best sign. I think that for Bitcoin specifically, unless it ends up acting weak over the next 2 or 3 days, we will end up going towards the end of our symmetrical triangle formation, and at that point we really want to make sure we break towards the upside out of the downtrend line and that we don't end up dropping below the uptrend line. Below the uptrend line. Now keep in mind, it's really, probably 50-50 at this point on what's going to happen. There's no way for us to know, but Ethereum and Litecoin have been, acting weaker than Bitcoin and did end up breaking below some major support lines. So that's just something to think about, and it could definitely foreshadow what's going to happen with Bitcoin and the rest of the market. So talking about Ethereum and Litecoin, those are the ones that we're going to cover next. As you can see, Ethereum did end up moving below $500, and it's now finding some support at around $450, but very flat candlesticks, right? No kind of major bounces. It's not looking like we're going to get back above $500 right away or anything like that, especially with the downtrend in Bollinger Bands and everything. Indicators acting pretty weak for now. So we'll see. I'd say at best here, we're going to manage to hold up around these levels, but if Bitcoin starts to move lower, or if the general cryptocurrency market weakens, we're probably going to start moving lower into this $400 range for Ethereum. As for bullish indicators, getting back above $500 would be very good, but at this point I'd really say we want to break above the red downtrend line to really confirm that we're ready to move back up higher. Let's take a look at Litecoin now and see what's going on. So I'm going to go over to the Coinbase chart on Litecoin, and Litecoin did break below its major uptrend line, which is not what we wanted to see. And now we are in for probably some more downside, right? It's not acting very strong here. We aren't getting any type of bounce, very flat candlestick. We're still below this blue downtrend line, and I think we're going to be moving lower here. Probably going to get a test of $100 again at the very least. Indicators are all pretty weak. We're going to also be keeping an eye for the RSI to dip below the 30 line as an added bearish signal. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be Nano, and see what's going on with Nano. So right now Nano is still below its downtrend line. It's actually trying to get back above that, but I wouldn't count on it for now. I think that we're most likely going to reach the end of this little triangle formation right here, and at that point we're either going to break out of the downtrend line, which is going to be able to allow for some consolidation, right, and probably avoid dropping lower. But if we end up, really acting weak here towards the end of a formation, we're probably going to move below 80,000 satoshis, and next stop will probably be around 60 to 50,000 satoshis. Let's take a look at Ripple next and see what's going on with Ripple. So going to go over to the Bittrex chart here, and Ripple is right now acting very flat. It's trying to get back towards 65 cents. I'm not sure it's going to be able to get back above that at this point, especially because the middle band is around that level as well, so that's going to be an added resistance. And I think that for now we're just going to see some consolidation between 50 and 65 cents. The next move will be, a break of either of those levels, and really we're going to have to wait, I think, for the rest of the market to tell us what the next move is here for Ripple. Let's take a look at Neo and see what's going on. So I'm going to go over to the Neo chart here, and it's been trending along its downtrend line, so let's see if that's continuing. So Neo is actually picking up the pace a little bit. We are slightly moving higher. If I go ahead and put in our downtrend line, it looks like we may actually be slightly popping above that, which is always a good sign. And for now, the breakout above this short-term downtrend line isn't too significant, but it probably means that we're going to be able to flatten out a bit here, especially with indicators coming back up, the RSI back above the 30 line. I think that we're going to probably slow down the dropping, especially the Bollinger Band. The lower Bollinger Band is acting pretty flat, so that'll help support the price. Probably going to see some consolidation now around $65. I think that's pretty much where the Bollinger Band is, so it makes sense. Let's take a look at Stellar and see what's going on. So I'm going to go over to Stellar here. And Stellar is currently still consolidating between 2,500 and 3,000 Satoshis. Bollinger Band's contracting towards the price, middle band pretty much in line with the price. Indicators experiencing a slight uptrend, which is good. I wouldn't expect any kind of move higher or anything like that for now. I think we're probably going to continue some consolidation, but Stellar is actually looking a bit stronger than other cryptocurrencies out there. Let's take a look at Vertcoin next, see if it is moving closer to its support level. And right now, Vertcoin is trying to get back above its downtrend line. It's experiencing some resistance there, which is normal. Indicators experiencing a slight bounce, but it's hard to tell what's going to happen next right here. I think that the better case scenario, which would avoid a further drop, would be breaking out of the downtrend and then just experiencing some consolidation around $2.20. But if we see that we're not able to get back above our downtrend line soon here, we're probably going to move closer to $1.54. And at that point, we could see a move lower if the market drops. So let's go ahead and take a look at Lisk now and see what's going on for Lisk. Let's see, Lisk is not acting the strongest right now. We just dropped below the 30 line on the RSI. MACD and histogram acting very weak here. And the price action, we're just slowly but surely trickling down lower, closer to $8, which is where I think we'll consolidate, and really will be in the range between $6.24 and $10 at that point. Let's go over to Cardano next and take a look at what's happening. So Cardano is currently acting pretty decent. We can see that just off the Bollinger Bands here. Let me go over to, let's see, I'm going to go over to Bittrex just so we get the previous charting. And as you can see, the indicators are trying to come back up. MACD is doing pretty decent, histogram as well. RSI still acting a little bit weak. As for the actual price action itself, we're trying to get back above, and remain above 2,000 Satoshis. We're still struggling with that a little bit. Think it has a fair chance of getting back above that level over the next few days, especially with the low Bollinger Band still holding up pretty well. And then at that point, we're probably going to see some consolidation between 2,000 and 2,500 Satoshis. Next, we're going to go over to our last cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update, which is going to be Iota. And let's see what's going on. So right now, Iota is finding some support at around $1.13. Not moving lower than that for now. Bollinger Band's holding up pretty well. Indicators also. Think we're probably going to see a little bit more consolidation here in this range for Iota. If things get a little bit weaker, I think we are going to probably test that $1 mark, and then we really need to hope for a bounce there, because if we move below $1, that's when things will start getting pretty concerning as far as going back into that cent range, maybe moving back towards 50 cents or even possibly lower. With that being said, this is the end of the daily crypto update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.